Good morning, I'm Alex King.
And I'm Nathan Edwards. Here's 3 quick stories to get your day started. Party in the Plaza is returning for the final time this Friday. Head out to the Water Street District starting at 5:30 at Day Air Ballpark.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Dora District, live music. The Dayton Dragons, by the way, are wrapping up their season 2.
I can't believe it's coming to an end.
Football season, it starts this weekend, so it makes sense that baseball's winding down.
It's a beautiful transition, but also...
You're kind of low-key sad?
Yeah. Five Rivers Metro Parks has a busy slate activities as we welcome fall, including a tyke hike tomorrow.
Yeah, little tykes.
Okay.
Yeah, little kids.
At Hills and Dales Metro Park.
I love it. I mean, I went out to Hills and Dales this last weekend. It's such a great, fun little park.
Cute.
Yeah. Plus, they got their eco talks, their children's garden stuff. So, I mean, gotta keep the little ones busy.
Love a hike.
I love it. Refreshing. Refreshing, let's just say that. And homemade pumpkin and cinnamon ice cream, well, they're back at Young's Jersey Dairy. 'Tis the season. The cinnamon ice cream is really, really good.
I don't know if I've had it.
Pumpkin, do you like that fall type of ice cream? Yeah.
There's not many flavors of ice cream I don't like.
Yeah, well, you know, some people are like, only chocolate.
Yeah, we know Nick is super particular.
There he is.
Yeah. First this morning, an airline at Dayton International Airport will have its last flight in just a few weeks.
Melena Brown joins us now in studio to break it all down. Melena.
Well, Nathan, many of our viewers may remember the launch of Avelo Airlines back during the beginning of the year. They offered nonstop round-trip flights from Dayton to Orlando. The first flight was January 13th, just 8 months ago, but now they are headed out. You can see on their website, you can't go past September of 2023. If you try to scroll, the last flight is going to be September 18th, and when you click on it, the return date, there's also nothing available, so it's nothing past this date. And when I spoke with travelers on the first day of Avelo flights, many were so excited to have a cheap option to go back and forth to the Sunshine State. And you can see when I click on the date as well to return and find flights, you can see that they are as low as $29. This is just taking a little bit of a minute, but yeah, $29, so very cheap one way. The short run with Dayton International may be disappointing to some Miami Valley travelers, but a representative for the airport said, in part, talking with airlines about service at Dayton International is an ongoing process throughout the year, every year, whether it's conversation with our current airlines, former airlines, or airlines that have not yet flown with Dayton. We continue to tell the story and remain ready mode for the next opportunity. I also reached out to Avelo Airlines and will have everything they had to say coming up next, as well as tips on finding cheap travel this season.
Good morning. Already had one shower try and go through the Miami Valley, just barely clipped the greater Mercer County area, but you'll look out to the west and there's not as much going on, and Dayton is fairly quiet. So for today, it's probably going to be quiet throughout much of the morning, although as we start getting later into the morning hours and into the afternoon and evening, there is going to be the threat of a couple of isolated
working on a date, but we'll let you know as soon as it's released. Back to you.
You're looking at video from West Liberty, Kentucky. People from the southeast to here in the Midwest are seeing pink Flamingos are showing up in odd places, including here in Ohio. The long-legged birds are associated with the tropics, so it's more likely to see them in places like Florida. But the leading theory right now is the flamingos got diverted by Hurricane Idalia while traveling in the Caribbean. Scientists say many of them headed north to escape the nasty weather.
I saw on TikTok people saw them out at Cedar Creek in
Yeah,
Waynesville,
that's
which is
crazy.
pretty wild.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, it would be like, what, why are they here? What? All right,
Wrong
cool.
state, guys.
Yeah. I'm sure they're like, yeah, at least it's warm here.
Yeah.
Our time right now, 5:09. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
It is a new safety device used for a common heart procedure. I'm Liz Bonus. What kind of a difference it could make? We explain just ahead.
You're watching Your Day.
A new device could help reduce a common complication that often accompanies a procedure to treat heart rhythm problems.
Medical reporter Liz Bonus explains how it works.
Hey there, hello to you. This procedure used to treat what's called atrial fibrillation, a common problem where an ablation is often used to burn or freeze a precise area of the heart to restore a normal heart rhythm. Researchers at the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center have developed a new device which may stop damage during this procedure to the esophagus. As this video provided by the center shows, this device is used to simply shift the esophagus out of harm's way during the procedure, which reduces the risk for esophageal damage.
The immediate result is safety during the procedure. The additional benefit is confidence for the physician to be able to deliver the ablation energy where they want, regardless of where the esophagus is located.
This is what the device looks like once it's inserted.
The patient is under general anesthesia for the procedure, and this gets inserted into the esophagus, so it's very atraumatic, has a rounded tip. And the other key point, it has these small little holes at the end of it, and that becomes the site of vacuum suction.
A clinical trial led by Ohio State found that without the device, over a third of heart ablation patients had esophageal injuries. But when the new device was used, less than 5% of patients had that injury to the esophagus, and they were much less severe than the control group. One of the reasons these added safety devices make such a big difference is that AFib kind of feels like a fish flopping in your heart, but it raises your risk for stroke significantly. If you notice you're short of breath, you feel dizzy a lot, you get tired or weak more easily than you used to, ask your doctor to refer you to a cardiologist. I'm medical reporter Liz Bonus. Back to you.
Good morning. Here's what we're looking at across the country. You do have this low that is right now moving through the Great Lakes, northern Great Lakes at that. It is dragging a cold front basically through parts of Indiana. Now, that being said, out ahead of it, we have had some showers in Indiana itself. I should note that cold front actually in Illinois. What we are going to see is the chance of showers, but notice how the trend is for a lot of this to fall apart even before it gets here. And that's what we saw this morning and what I think we'll see at times during the daytime. Still think that there's going to be an opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms during the day, particularly probably early afternoon through the mid-afternoon and evening. But then as we get into tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit quiet early on. Once this low starts to wrap around, and this is a pattern that we saw a couple weeks ago, we could deal with some sprinkles, drizzle, areas of very light rain. But the big takeaway is tomorrow a much cooler day. Today, actually the last hot and humid day. So if you're a fan of hot and humid weather, this is it. Get out before the showers move in. Once the showers and the cold front pass, it's going to be upper 70s, and it's going to feel a lot more like the early stages of fall. Dare I say it's very fall-like. The only reason I'm not quite committing is, well, we don't have any low 70s or upper 60s yet. Simply put, it is going to be still pretty mild. As for traffic this morning, haven't seen any tie-ups or concerns. Yesterday, as I was driving back into the area around 5 p.m., did notice there was one incident over by Wagner Ford. And the reason why I bring that up is, of course, that's an area of construction. So give yourself plenty of extra time, especially in and around those construction zones.
Our time right now is 5:17. Call Lever Burton and let's go to the library trying. What?
LeVar Burton.
Oh. Trying to get over the hump. It's time to read. Just had we open a book and turn a few pages.
Lever Burton. You're watching your day.
It is time for Pet of the Day here on Your Day, and we love sharing your pets, including today's where this is 100% a boop the snoot here, and that is basically, you know, touch the nose, if you will. Napoleon, sent in by Karen, also goes by nappy poos, and that was in the official notes of the dog. Now, today I do have green paws, but I may have to change a few of these time periods, mainly afternoon and evening, to yellow. Now, I'm cautious against it because, frankly, I think there are going to be some of us that don't get a whole lot of rain, but especially if you have a dog that isn't a fan of rain or thunder, that's a time period where we are more likely to see the threat of showers and thunderstorms. So keep that in mind today. It's not a day where I think we're going to stay perfect all day, but there is at least the chance that some of us do stay dry all day, which may be fortunate for the dogs, but unfortunate for anybody who needs it for the lawn. As for traffic this morning, things are moving smoothly. I haven't seen any tie-ups or concerns as you head out the door.
A new docuseries on Netflix has left viewers vowing to overhaul their lifestyles after binge-watching the episodes. Live to 100: Secrets of the Blue Zones was released on August 30th on the streaming giant, with its explorations motivating many fans to start making better food choices, exercising more, and exploring nature and living a long, healthy life. Well, consumers will now be able to buy Narcan over the counter without a prescription online and in retail stores. Starting this week, customers can walk into CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart and find Narcan. Previously, it was only available from a pharmacist who could prescribe the medication on site. Overdose prevention advocates believe having the product available over the counter will increase the access to the medication, which can revive someone from an overdose. Well, more than 2/3 of adults sometimes feel as awkward as they did in their teens. A survey of 2,000 respondents, 25 to 45, found as teens, people were most self-conscious about their body shape, hairstyle, and smile. This was conducted by one poll on behalf of Smile Express, and it found 30% usually stand in the front row when posing for a group photo, with fewer women than men doing so. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
Take a look. It's in a book. Today is a great day to cuddle up with a classic novel. It's National Read a Book Day. Multiple studies over the decades stress the mental benefits of reading, including boosting a person's memory and concentration. Older readers seem to show slower cognitive decline compared to people who don't read as much. You can spread the word on social media by using the hashtag Read a Book Day. And Alex is always reading a book.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always have my book with me.
How long have you been an avid reader? Your whole life?
No. It probably started about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, I used to hate reading books.
What? Okay, but you got back into it.
Yeah.
Alex's book club.
And now I always have a book.
Yeah. Nick, do you read?
I have my magazines. I've been single-handedly holding up the magazine market for 10 years now.
No, aren't you 100 years old?
Yeah, I was about to say, you know,
Reader's Digest for Nick.
Well, I was thinking to myself, like, that's what did it say? It slows cognitive decline. You can watch, you know, you declining in just real time every morning.
That is true. I don't read books other than children's books. So there's that. Our time right now is 5:24. Caught on camera minutes. We share a new video of a chase in Auglaize County that ended with the arrest of a murder suspect.
In today's Tech Bites, a less expensive MacBook may soon be on the way. Reports say Apple is looking into producing a lower-cost laptop to compete with Google's Chromebook. Chromebook sells for under $200, while MacBooks start at around $1,600. It appears TikTok is looking beyond the viral videos by possibly adding more social media features. Reports say TikTok posted several new jobs for positions involved in building social networking, along with improving private messaging features. And in the world of game developing, a child is attempting to lead them. 6-year-old Samar Khurana created an educational video game after taking a few coding classes. It teaches kids how to eat healthier. Guinness has confirmed she's the youngest game developer ever. As a young developer, I wonder if she's even into nature. After all, it's full of bugs. Those are your Tech Bites.
Hold it! Imagine a world with no drama.
I haven't signed Jody's card yet.
At 4imprint, finding the promotional products you need to create a memorable moment is an easy mission. Our expert team will take care of every detail to make your success a certainty. Take the drama out of ordering promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Want to leave works all day so I can keep working my magic. Just want to leave. 12 hours of uninterrupted pain relief. Aleve, who do you take it for? And for fast topical pain relief, try Aleve X.
It's the fun part. Came a long way. Came a long way. Came a long way. Been a long way. Real long way. Are you kidding me? One of them nights, baby.
A 20-year-old in Harrison Township now honored for saving his grandfather's life.
Harrison Township trustees honored Carson Caldwell at last night's meeting.
Back on August 8th, Caldwell noticed his grandfather clutching his chest in pain. Caldwell then used his CPR training to help. His grandfather went to the hospital and had heart surgery for a major blockage. Doctors and Carson's grandfather gave credit to Carson for saving his life.
And 2 local first responders also honored at that meeting for their brave actions after a devastating apartment fire in August. Lydia Bice was there and shares a heartfelt reunion.
Now, it was a heartwarming moment on Tuesday evening when Montgomery County Sheriff's Deputy Javon Richardson was reunited with Thomasina Barfield, the woman whose life he saved on August 5th when her home was destroyed in that fire. Now, over 40 Harrison Township residents were displaced that day, and unfortunately, Miss Barfield is still recovering from losing her home.
I just remember seeing fire and not knowing what to do, and I don't know how I got out. I just know I was on the ground.
So the word that Deputy Richardson used to describe reuniting with Miss Barfield was, quote, special. He also said, quote, I do this job just to help the people. And that's exactly what he did on August 5th. And that's exactly why the township honored him and Chief Nagel on Tuesday evening. So if you are interested in helping Miss Barfield as she recovers from losing her home that day, head to the web version of this story on Dayton247now.com, where I've provided that information. Back to you.
We do have a couple of showers in and around the region, but nothing that screams imminent heavy rain. If anything, it may be just a period or two of light rain that does move in. Heaviest rain still well out to our west in the Chicagoland area, further south in towards the central part of Illinois. Now going to move probably to our north, but we'll be on the lookout for this cluster of rain that is a little bit further to the south. That could arrive perhaps as soon as the late morning or more towards the afternoon. It really is going to be touch and go all day, but in particular, once that cold front rolls through, I think that's your best time period overall, and that would be later towards the evening and even overnight. In terms of temperature today, another hot and humid day, but we are going to see some cooler temperatures ahead. And you can read all about it on our Facebook over Your Day Dayton. Go there, check it out. Meanwhile, check out traffic right now, which is fairly light, although starting to pick up a little bit over at 40. We do have some more traffic on the roads, but nothing out of the norm for this time of the morning.
We are seeing new video of a police chase that ended in an officer-involved shooting in Auglaize County on Sunday. Here's a closer look at the ODOT video. Troopers with Ohio State Highway Patrol tried to stop a vehicle they believe a murder suspect out of Chicago was driving. The driver refused to pull over and the chase started. The suspect sped down I-75, finally coming to a stop south of Route 33 in Auglaize County. Investigators say 45-year-old Danny Berry got out of the car with a handgun. Officers shot him. Officials took him to the hospital with serious injuries.
One of the airlines at Dayton International will have their last flight in just under 2 weeks.
Melina Brown joins us now to explain what's happening. Melina.
Well, Nathan, many of our viewers may remember the launch of Avelo Airlines during the beginning of this year. You could fly nonstop from Florida every Monday and Friday for as little as $29, but the company announced just last month that they are leaving the airport. The last flight available is, as you can see here, September 18th. I reached out to the company to see when the decision was made and if passengers would be refunded for canceled future flights, and they answered with everything that led up to the decision. A representative for the company said, quote, "In an environment of rising fuel costs, we're navigating the best way to fly our routes while also ensuring there's enough demand for the route provided. This was not the outcome we envisioned when Avelo took flight in Dayton, but we have decided to stop service September 18th. All customers have been communicated with by our customer support team." She also said that all customers have been refunded for any tickets that were purchased after September 18th. But don't worry, because I do have tips on finding flights throughout the year through any airline. According to U.S. News, you're going to want to book in advance for domestic flights. During peak season, book 3 to 6 months in advance, and during off season you can book 1 to 3 months, and then the cheapest days to fly are going to be Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, and you can use Google Flights, Skyscanner, or any other flight search engine to find cheap flights. And it could be beneficial to invest in a airline credit card so that you can accrue points and bonus miles. And a representative for Dayton International Airport did tell me that the airport is always talking with airlines about service at Dayton International and that they will be ready for the next opportunity. Back to you.
Public Health Dayton and Montgomery County confirmed they found West Nile virus in a mosquito in Vandalia. The agency sprayed the area around the Vandalia Rec Center last night. There are no reported cases of West Nile virus in our county. This is the second time health officials found West Nile virus in Vandalia. The first was back in July. Last week, officials found the virus in Bellbrook and Beaver Creek for the second time.
Doctors may soon have new technology to diagnose autism in children more quickly and accurately. 2 new studies released just yesterday suggest an eye tracking tool called Early Point Evaluation could diagnose children as young as 16 months old. The FDA recently cleared the device to be used by clinicians. Experts at the Marcus Autism Center in Atlanta say this could be a major step forward. Early detection can help improve outcomes for children with autism by allowing them to get the treatment sooner. Young people on this spectrum often have problems with learning and social communication.
Our time right now is 5:34. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Honoring men who gave the ultimate sacrifice today in hometown hero Adam Arrow highlights how one area community recognized 2 fallen veterans.
And driving on Fire Road, terrifying video out of the Great Northwest, immense body cam footage of the wild escape.
You're watching Your Day. Recently, 2 of our area's fallen veterans were forever honored. Street signs now bear their names, reminding everyone who drives past of their service to our country.
As Adam Merrill explains, they are the definition of hometown heroes.
With hands over their hearts and their hearts full of gratitude, the Kettering community honoring 2 fallen heroes. Sergeant Kevin Lannon, an Alter grad, was 21 when he was killed in 1983 in Grenada. He served as a medic and infantryman. His colleagues would later call him the perfect Ranger medic. Sergeant Cameron Thomas, a Fairmont grad, was 23 when he was killed during a raid in Afghanistan in 2017. He was awarded numerous commendations for his service. On Friday, 2 areas of State Route 48 unveiled signs with their names, forever etching their memories in this community.
We are grateful to have them all in our hearts. Every time we drive by those signs, reflect, think about our freedoms, and thank those that have served.
A thank you to 2 men who will forever be hometown heroes.
If you know someone that's a hometown hero, let us know. Grab your phone and scan the QR code.
You can chime in your submission through our app. We need a description of why they're a hometown hero and a few pictures or video.
Good morning. We are waking up to right now quieter conditions, but we do have some showers lurking out to the west, and it's likely for us to actually have a chance of rain later on today. So keep in mind, this is not going to be a picture perfect day to get outside. There is going to be, again, the threat of rain. In terms of temperature today, I don't think it's going to really impact things too much. Out the door, we should be able to get mid, maybe even upper 80s, depending on just the timing of any showers, plus location of showers. If you're one of those that do get more sun, obviously better chance of upper 80s. If you're more cloudy and do get showers, maybe even some low 80s. So it's going to vary location to location, but the big takeaway is about today, kind of an unsettled day overall. Tomorrow, unsettled as well, but a completely different environment, much cooler and much more mild outside when it comes to humidity, but there's still going to be the threat of rain, mainly because you are going to have some wraparound showers beginning tomorrow. It's going to feel like fall, and here we are, September. First couple days, it was in the 90s yesterday, and now it's back in the 70s, kind of that whiplash effect.
God bless it. I love it. You know, sign me up.
Alex is
Cooler
not so
weather
thrilled.
here. No, Alex, you're going to get over it real quick. I mean, you're going to enjoy some candles that smell like the harvest of the season.
I'm going to go apple picking.
Yes, I would pay to see. Let's get a basic Nick fall.
Me and my what do you call it? My plaid. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
I'll rock some plaid. What?
Alex is not here for this. Now, you know, by the way, we're so excited for fall. We do have some fun stuff coming up later this morning with us trying some fall classics.
Oh, yeah.
And getting Nick into the spirit this season. It's going to be good.
You're going to get me into the spirits, meaning the alcohol later on today.
No. Well, this might drive you to alcoholism, but I mean, it's going to be fun. It'll be a good time.
We'll see.
Gather. It'll be great. Live.
Gather
laugh.
and pray.
Gather. It's fall, y'all. Our time right now, I am a walking Hobby Lobby sign, 5:41. The Rally Reds do it again. Another one in minutes. The wild walk-off last night in Cincinnati.
You're watching Your Day. Reds Twitter page reads, never, ever, ever count out the Rally Reds. Cincinnati celebrating another walk-off win. Last night's victory against the Seattle Mariners marks the 10th walk-off of the season. The Reds were down 5-1 last night to the leaders in the AL West. It was 6-3 in the bottom of the 8th. That's when Nick Martin played hero with a 3-run bomb to right to tie the game. And going to the 9th, Elly De La Cruz singled and then stole second to set the stage for Christian Encarnacion Strand, who goes the other way, and the Reds win 7-6. Cincy looks for the sweep tonight with first pitch at 6:40. The Arizona Diamondbacks lost last night to the Colorado Rockies, and the Reds currently hold the last playoff spot in the National League wild card race.
And a live look this morning of downtown Dayton thanks to Skycam. The Gem City also celebrating last night as the Dragons are now within 2 games of a playoff berth with 5 games left in the season. It's DaytonDragons.com. They picked up a huge 10-4 victory over Fort Wayne. Sorry, Nick. The Tin Caps are the squad as the Dragons are chasing. This is the last week of the regular season for the Midwest League. First pitch tonight at Day Air Ballpark between the Dragons and the Tin Caps at 7:05.
It's time for touchdown trivia. Scan the QR code on your screen to answer today's question. If you get it right, you have a chance to win a $100 Visa gift card. We want to congratulate yesterday's winner, Bill Lovall. One weekly national winner will get $5,000. Touchdown trivia is sponsored by Thrush & Son. Again, scan the QR code on your screen to get today's touchdown trivia question. Good luck.
I don't know what Nathan's sorry about. I was rooting for, I'm rooting for the Dragons this year. You know, I lived in Fort Wayne. Hey, you know what? I no longer live there. Tin Caps are cool, but I'm a Dragons person for the time being. And what it's worth, I believe they have 4 games or 5 games left, and they're down 2. So they can make a comeback here and actually win the second half, which would be rather interesting. Meanwhile, for us today, scattered showers and even a couple of thunder boomers are possible, though I have a feeling that this model may be doing or overdoing the amount of rain during the morning. I think that the better chances of rain may be along that cold front. Now, notice how we start clear tomorrow, but we'll have at least a chance of sprinkles or very light drizzle. Think of what we saw a couple weeks ago where it's just unsettled, kind of damp and dank. That's kind of where I think this is going for tomorrow and potentially for parts of early Friday. In terms of temperature, obviously today we're going to continue with the warm and hot and humid air, but tomorrow we'll start out a bit cooler and much cooler. So today we're starting out in 70s, tomorrow mid 60s, tomorrow upper 70s for highs. Just for context, again, we're starting out this morning in the 70s. We'll show you that in just a bit. So it is going to be much different environment, not just for tomorrow, but pretty much throughout the weekend ahead. That'll continue all the way through next week. And it's worth pointing out that Tuesday of next week, we'll see another chance of rain. So at least there's a couple opportunities for rain this week ahead. Really could use a drink of water here because things starting to turn yellow at the old Maruziak residence. Meanwhile, on the roads this morning, things are moving smoothly as you head out the door.
Our time right now, 5:48. I'll never be your beast of burden. The Rolling Stones ready to roll out some new music in minutes. We'll tell you about their big interview today.
You're watching Your Day. That was beautiful.
In this morning's GMA First Look, stunning new allegations in the South Carolina murder case that gripped the nation.
The clerk of court had improper private communications with the jurors. The subject matter of those communications was the credibility of the defense.
Attorneys for convicted killer Alec Murdaugh alleging in a new court filing that his trial was tainted by bias, now calling for a new one. Lawyers for Murdaugh, who was found guilty of fatally shooting his wife Maggie and son Paul, accusing court clerk Rebecca Hill of engaging in extensive, deliberate, and self-interested jury tampering. claiming she advised jurors not to believe Murdaugh's testimony.
The question's going to be, is it true? Did she actually do this?
And coming up at 7 a.m., George Stephanopoulos speaking with Alec Murdaugh's attorneys in a morning interview. With your GMA First Look, I'm Ariel Reshef, ABC News, New York.
I'm Jason. I'm living with HIV, and I'm on Cabenuva. It helps keep me undetectable.
For adults who are undetectable, Cabenuva is the only complete long-acting HIV treatment you can get every other month.
Cabenuva is 2 injections given by my healthcare provider every other month. It's really nice not to have to rush home and take a daily HIV pill.
Don't receive Cabenuva if you're allergic to its ingredients or if you're taking certain medicines which may interact with Cabenuva. Serious side effects include allergic reactions, post-injection reactions, liver problems, and depression. If you have a rash and other allergic reaction symptoms, stop Cabenuva and get medical help right away. Tell your doctor if you have liver problems or mental health concerns, and if you are pregnant, breastfeeding, or considering pregnancy. Some of the most common side effects include injection site reactions, fever, and tiredness. If you switch to Cabenuva, attend all treatment appointments. Ready to treat your HIV in a different way? Ask your doctor about every other month Cabenuva.
Every other month, and I'm good to go.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Good morning and welcome to the Watson's Weather Patio, where this morning fairly quiet outside. It is very humid as well. Temperature-wise, it's warm. So this is a case where it is very much so feeling like summer across the Miami Valley. Obviously, we have switched the month to September, but so far it's been a pretty toasty September. Right now, mid-70s and low 70s, a couple of upper 60s. The general theme is for tomorrow to not only be cooler, but also drier. So we're going to lack a lot of the humidity. Now, that being said, when you take the entire column of air, it may actually be a little bit more humid overall, which means we're still going to probably have a little better chance of, let's say, a sprinkle, area of drizzle, or just a shower. Today, showers and storms possible, although the severe threat does seem to be very limited at best. There could be a storm or two that briefly produces some gusty winds. Main takeaway is much cooler weather for tomorrow, and today and tomorrow, at least a chance of a couple showers with better chances of heavier duty rain today.
Check out this video from Washington. A body camera captured some intense driving for one Spokane County police officer. Deputy Britton Morgan was out advising citizens to evacuate the quickly spreading Oregon Road fire. Then he got caught in the middle of it. You can see him driving on a road with flames burning on both sides of him. Morgan finally made it to safety and then helped others by keeping them from going down the road he had just navigated. The fire destroyed at least 120 homes on almost 11,000 acres.
Last week, we told you about the birth of the only known spotless giraffe in the world. She's cute, she's rare, and now she has a name. This is Kipiki. Her name means unique in Swahili. Bryant Zoo in Limestone, Tennessee said almost 40,000 people voted to help name the 5-week-old. And the zoo director added that some guests told staff they liked the name because it's easy for kids to say. The last recorded case of a spotless giraffe was in Tokyo in 1972.
Next to me, DisneyCruise.com, where they have announced a new cruise ship. Disney Treasure will be theatrical dining experience themed to Disney and Pixar films Coco. It will also feature an ice cream parlor inspired by Disney's Zootopia, a ride called Aqua Mouse, which takes guests through the world of Mickey Mouse animated shorts. The 7-night cruises start in December of next year. According to Cruise Lines International Association, the industry is expected to grow 19% by 2028.
And you're taking a look at RollingStones.com. In just a few hours, the legendary rock band will do an interview with Jimmy Fallon in London. The interview will be live streamed on YouTube, and the Stones are set to release new music. The band recently teased the new record in a British newspaper. The new album is titled Hackney Diamonds, and it's their first studio album since 2005. It will include music with the band made with drummer Charlie Watts before his death in 2021. One track will also feature Paul McCartney playing the bass. Wow.
Not the original bass.
No, not that one.
That's
that was
still missing.
that one's still missing. And it's amazing, the Beatles and the Stones kind of colliding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Should be a good, I mean, I don't know. I haven't listened to new Stones music. When I listen to Stones music, I usually listen to like, Ruby Tuesday, Painted Black, Beast of Burden.
Yeah.
You
It's one of those that you hope that they're putting out decent music at this stage, but there's sometimes, like, I remember Metallica releasing an album and all the Metallica fans are like, why? This is terrible. And you just hope the Rolling Stones know what they're doing.
Mick Jagger's 80.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's
crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to listen to.
He's still got that strut.
Yeah, he does.
We got a lot more coming up on Your Day at 6 a.m.
A popular airline is leaving the Dayton International Airport after just a few months of flights. More details coming up next.
Today in Grant Me Hope, we introduce you to a caring 8th grader who loves music and being around people. At 6, how she can thrive and what she's looking for in a forever family.
Now my turn. We are going to be looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. There will be a chance of showers and thunderstorms, a stray shower possible on Thursday. And then from there, temperatures mid to upper 70s for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Much cooler and drier weekend. It's going to feel like fall, so get that flannel ready, although you may not need it quite yet. Now with temperatures in the 70s. By next week, though, we'll be back into the 80s, so maybe another time period for shorts and T-shirts, especially early next week.
You're watching Your Day. Good morning, I'm Alex King.
And I'm Nathan Edwards. Here's 3 quick stories to get your day started. Party in the Plaza is returning for its final event this Friday. They say it's the last time of the summer. Yeah, dragon season is ending. You can head out, have a good time Friday night. Should be fun.
This is such a sign that summer is coming to an end.
Yeah, and you know what? After the last couple of days of heat, I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
I know you like your summer too much.
So I don't mind the fall.
Chunky scarf season.
Five Rivers Metro Parks has a busy slate activities as we welcome fall, including a tyke hike tomorrow at Hills and Dales Metro Park.
Should be a good time to get the little kiddos out for a hike. I'm ready for fall color season.
Yes.
Leaf peeping is what they call it.
I do love all the leaves. We actually, the tree in our backyard, I noticed some leaves were falling and changing color already.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Alex, it won't be long before you're like, oh my gosh, I love fall.
Yeah. We're gonna have to close our pool soon.
You're gonna be like, I'm crazy for fall. It's leather boot season.
I do love me some boots.
See, I knew it.
I do love me some boots. You're right.
Homemade pumpkin cinnamon ice cream are back at Young's Jersey Dairy. Get excited. Dude, I'm ready for, yes.
Today is the day. It's all fall.
It is all fall. We got some treats coming up later. I do love the cinnamon ice cream at Young's, by the way. They also have this milkshake where they put a whole piece of pumpkin pie in there and then grind it up. Yeah, it's so good.
Wow, I need to go visit there soon. First this morning, an airline at Dayton International Airport will have its last flight in just a few weeks.
Melena Brown joins us live in studio to break it all down for us. Melena.
Well, Nathan, many of our viewers may remember the launch of Avelo Airlines back at the beginning of the year. They offered nonstop round flights between Dayton and Orlando, Florida, and the first flight was January 13th, just 8 months ago, but now they are headed out. You can see on their website here that the last available flight is Monday, September 18th. If you try to go past this month, it's not available. When I spoke with travelers on the first day of Avelo flights, many were so excited to have a cheap option to go back and forth from the Sunshine State. You can also see that flights right here are as low as $29 one way. The short run with Dayton International may be disappointing to some Miami Valley travelers, but a representative for the airport said in part, talking with airlines about service at Dayton International is an ongoing process throughout the year. Every year, whether it's conversation with our current airlines, former airlines, or airlines that have not yet flown from Dayton. We continue to tell the Dayton story and remain in ready mode for the next opportunity. I also reached out to Avelo Airlines and will have everything they had to say coming up next, as well as some tips on finding cheap travel this season.
Good morning. We're tracking a line of showers out to the west. Not looking that impressive this morning, but it is noteworthy because they are continuing to move to the east. And I do think there is at least a chance a couple of us will pick up a couple of showers this morning. By and large, though, we'll call partly to mostly cloudy. So again, there could be an isolated rumble or two of thunder. Probably more of just some steady rain if we do see anything, though. So keep in mind, maybe just have the umbrella handy out the door and give one of them to the kids as they go on the school bus. Just a reminder, you can also read your latest weather forecast at Your Day Dayton. We'll post that to the Facebook page here shortly. It is at our sister station, Dayton 24/7 now. But I have yet to post it to Your Day. Now, meanwhile, on the roads this morning, so far, so quiet. As always, give yourself plenty of extra time and space around the buses, and especially in any construction areas.
Officials now say a man at the center of a use of force investigation died from a lack of oxygen to the brain. The Montgomery County Coroner's Office revealed Antonio Lewis's heart was beating too quickly because of recent cocaine use. Back in June, Lewis was injured in a crash at the DeSoto Bass apartment complex. The 62-year-old told police he needed help. While waiting for a medic, officers say Lewis became agitated, leading to a struggle. According to police, he tried to grab a stun gun. That's when officers handcuffed him. He later became unconscious and died at the hospital.
This woman from Dayton will now serve 19 years to life in prison for murder. A jury found 40-year-old Sarah Beerma guilty of murder, felonious assault, robbery, burglary, and tampering with evidence. Back in 2021, Beerma stabbed and killed 60-year-old Kendall Combs with a pair of scissors in Riverside.
The president of the Tip City Board of Education is stepping down. Simon Patry cited family and business obligations for the move, saying in a Facebook post, "I'm no longer able to serve without sacrificing my family's and business's needs." The move came shortly after a board meeting where he got into an argument with another member. Patry had 3 months left in his 4-year term on the board.
Right now, you're looking at the Miami Valley Jail's website. This man, Jacob Ruff Jr., was currently behind bars in Miami County on federal charges. Investigators say he brought a gun to a school. He pleaded guilty yesterday. The 19-year-old admits to bringing the weapon to Edwin Joel Brown Middle School in May. Ballistics from the scene matched the casings on Ruff when he was arrested. Having a firearm in a school zone is punishable by up to 5 years in prison. Ruff is now waiting to be sentenced.
A group right here in the Miami Valley is looking to protect kids as they begin the school year. Centerville Safe held its first presentation of the school year at Centerville High School just last night. Gwenna Falloon shares the tips they have for students.
In just an hour-long presentation, deputies were able to address a number of different concerns. Last night was a back-to-school session, so deputies spoke on a number of things like bus safety, driving dangers such as texting and driving, drug and substance abuse, telling parents to be aware of things like e-cigarettes and vapes, and even online and social media safety. Deputies also tell me free events like this help bridge the gap between the public and law enforcement, saying they want to be seen as there to help and a friendly face in the community.
We're the same as they are. We're just trying to show them that, out of these uniforms, we're human beings. We have kids that are going through the same struggles. So we're trying to make sure that they're safe and that they know that we're real people and they can come to us in a time of need.
Last night's meeting was just the first of several this year, so if you weren't able to make it, there's going to be another presentation in October. District leaders and law enforcement are still working on a date, but we'll let you know as soon as it's released. Back to you.
You're looking at video from West Liberty, Kentucky. People from the southeast to here in the Midwest are seeing pink. Flamingos are showing up in odd places, including here in Ohio. The long-legged birds are associated with the tropics, so it's more likely to see them in places like Florida. But the leading theory right now is the flamingos got diverted by Hurricane Idalia while traveling in the Caribbean. Scientists say many of them headed north to escape the nasty weather.
And it turns out we have one visiting us this morning. Yeah, you kind of do look like a flamingo.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You made the comment first, though, yourself.
Yeah.
So there you go, all pink. Our time right now, 6:07. Don't forget, you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
A new hotel coming to Miami County just had the multi-million-dollar project and where it's going to be located.
You're watching Your Day.
Good morning. Here's what it looks like right now over the Miami Valley. It's fairly quiet. Don't really see too much in the way of a haze, but there may be just a little bit of moisture, especially trapped near the valley itself. As always, you do get that. Meanwhile, more moisture may be on its way today in the form of some showers. This particular model may be just overdoing a touch how much rain will be on the way. What I think is it's going to fade as it starts to move in, and it carries not necessarily the dry air at the surface, but the dry air aloft. Think back to yesterday where there were some angry looking clouds over the city of Dayton and Miamisburg, also points south towards Springboro, but a lot of that faded out and it ended up being just angry looking clouds as opposed to any rain. Best chance of rain moves in for this evening. Still think there could be a residual shower for early to midday tomorrow. Other than that, it will be much cooler and still cloudy at times tomorrow. So kind of one of those damp, dank days that you get on the backside of a low. Meanwhile, if you're going to be on the roads this morning, so far it's been quiet across the area, but again, any type of rain could make it a little bit more difficult as you head out the door.
Our time right now is 6:11. Today in Great May Hope, we introduce you to a caring 8th grader who loves music and being around people. Just ahead, how she can thrive and what she's looking for in a forever family.
You're watching Your Day. At any given time, there are more than 600 children in foster care here in Montgomery County. The goal is always to reunite those children with their families, but the sad truth is some of those kids can never go back home, and now they are up for adoption.
Dayton 24/7 Now has teamed up with Greene Hope to help, and this morning we want to introduce you to Emiliana, who's right now looking for a family.
This is Emiliana. She is 14 years old. She is in the 8th grade.
She is a very loving little girl. She really is. So if you just walk past her, she may like grab out and reach your hand. She love hug, cuddled, and be very energetic. She's always jumping and bouncing and just moving. It's like she never stops. And even when she's in her wheelchair, she just rocks and bounces. She likes music. She loves to be read to. She loves people. She's used to being around a lot of people. So she gets familiar with people that spend a lot of time with her. She needs a lot of assistance with activities of daily living. She has a couple of programs where we are teaching her to feed herself so she can eat by herself, but right now she needs some assistance. Anything you do repeatedly, she picks up on. It'll take a minute, but she'll get it once you're loving and teaching.
She goes to school, she comes home, she has her everyday regular routine, so she's used to it. So as far as family, I think Emiliana will be looking for somebody who is energetic, has the time to place her ahead of other things, so has the time to take her out and do different kind of adventures and different things with her, as well as keep her active. But my hopes and dreams is for her to find a forever home where she's loved and taken care of and can thrive in the world.
You can find out more about Emiliana and other children who are up for adoption right now on Dayton247now.com.
Every week we're going to feature another child in our Dayton 24/7 Now's Grant Mayhill profiles.
Good morning. Temperature-wise, we are starting out quite hot and quite humid. I mean, it's in the 70s, which isn't unheard of, but certainly on a toasty side. See those dew points still in the upper 60s. So this is definitely borderline summer heat and humidity. I would dare say that this is probably top 20 days that we've seen in summer in terms of both of those. Now, we do have some showers, but the trend has been for these to pulse a little bit stronger and weaker as they continue into the Miami Valley. My instinct says that as they continue in, they will probably weaken. So we may get a couple of sprinkles out to the west, maybe just a spotty shower or two. We'll see how that develops here over the next hour or two. And of course, you can follow us here and online as we do continue with that. But the main message of today is, depending on those showers, temperatures anywhere from mid to upper 80s. Today, the last day where we're going to see 80s for the next week, or should I say mid to upper 80s for the week. We may sneak a couple of 80-degree marks, including even tomorrow. We'll be right on that border. I do think it'll stay partly to mostly cloudy with a couple of showers in around the area. But beyond that, 3 straight days of mid to upper 70s. So it is going to be much cooler for the weekend. Early next week, again, that's where we could sneak a couple of low 80s, but I'm really not expecting any type of heat and humidity on a level that we have seen here as of late. Meanwhile, on the roads this morning, things moving smoothly thus far on a major intersections road. One incident right now, Miamisburg Centerville Road at Springboro Pike. If that's part of your morning commute, give yourself some extra time.
Topping this morning's Dayton Business Journal headlines, a $10 million hotel is coming to Troy. Spring Hill Suites by Marriott will be 4 stories with 90 rooms and will sit on Town Park Drive. It'll be more than 57,000 square feet and bring new jobs to the area both during and after construction. To read more about this story and others like it, head to Dayton247now.com, click on the news tab and select Dayton Business Journal.
6:19 is our time right now. A shorter work week, but still trying to get over the hump. Your Facebook poll question coming up in minutes.
You're watching Your Day.
It is time for Pet of the Day here on Your Day, where we celebrate your pets. And I'm going to make a little change here just because I think it is appropriate. And that's just to add in the yellow paws for 4 to 6 p.m. That's just because there is going to be the increased threat of a couple of showers and thunderstorms. Not that I'm expecting a ton of rain, but there could be some rain in the area. By the way, today's Pet of the Day, Napoleon, sent in by Karen. Karen also notes that this is her Basset Hound, Nappy Poos, who has a gorgeous face there. Just 10 out of 10 would have to give the head a rub. And now today, again, it's going to be in the 80s. So if you have a dog that maybe wants to get outside during this, your best chance would be more towards the morning. Or if you have a dog like mine that's not a huge fan of when it rains, it's probably a good idea to get them outside early, maybe just time the rain out and see what's going on, and then do it more towards later tonight. That's where the chance of rain will start to diminish. So again, there's going to be windows to take out the pets, but today could be a wet one at times, especially as you get into the afternoon. Meanwhile, on the roads this morning, things are fairly quiet thus far. The only incident was, again, Springboro Park, Miamisburg, Centerville Road. So it is not quite feeling like fall out there right now, despite the fact that we have now moved into the month of September.
Nick's favorite season, let's go. And here we go with our poll question. Melina Brown joins us this morning. Melina, what is our question that we're asking?
Our question of the day is, what fall comfort food do you enjoy the most? Of course.
Okay,
Megan?
so I have like a power ranking of fall comfort foods.
Of course you do.
Of course I do, because, you know, this is my favorite season. I'm all about the pumpkin bread. First off, make some bomb pumpkin bread. Pot roast. Yeah. Chili. Gotta have some chocolate chip cookies. Even though that's kind of universal.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
like, maybe I'll take that one out. And I love like ribs this time of year.
Yum. Yeah, I was getting ready to comment on the Facebook poll question. Mine is definitely chili, number one. I do love me some pumpkin pie in the fall as well. Just like anything warm, like soup is
like
always
a roast
good.
chicken is so good this time of year too.
Chicken.
I'm going to throw down a weird one, but bear with me on this. I like a good apple in the fall, like especially you go to the orchard, you pick one off the tree. That to me is comfort food because it's one of those that just reminds me of the season, you know, fall and apples. But if I'm going to go something hearty like you, chili, like first true fall day, 60s or 50s, I'm making a chili and making a big vat of that for like the cold days ahead.
Melina's going to say something that's not popular with me. Go ahead.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, well, as a chunky Italian growing up, I have quite a few different choices. One, soup in the fall. Any soup, really, I think is a comfort food. And just Thanksgiving Day, sitting down to the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, the turkey, the gravy, everything.
Okay, that I'm down with. Soup.
Yes.
I as I say to my wife, you will never see me order or ask for a bowl of soup ever because it's such a waste.
Really?
Why are you looking at me? Yeah.
Wow,
Soup?
this is
That's a hot take.
that is a.
You don't like a good baked potato soup?
I just don't really care. Like soup, it's
Have you
like.
tried the
why do I
cheddar
wanna-
broccoli soup from Panera?
Why do I want to drink my food? I like that
Because
just
it's
isn't.
so comforting
Because the
and
broth
warm.
is
I don't
like
feel
hot.
warm or
You
comforting.
need to make some potato soup and get some like good chunks in there.
I'm
I also
good.
have another one. My mom made homemade Chex Mix growing up, and I'm gonna bring
Yes,
some in. I'm gonna
that
bring
is
some
good.
for you
My
guys.
mom made that
it's
too.
so good.
Yum.
Anyways, now you know about my hate for
All
soup.
right. Well, go ahead and comment on that poll
Soups
question.
and
We'll get back to
salads.
Melina in just a little bit. 6:26 is our time right now. Caught on camera in minutes, we share a new video of a chase in Auglaize County that ended with the arrest of a murder suspect.
But first, here's Stacey Bell with America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Naki.
Our family loves being outdoors, especially when the weather is nice, but mosquitoes are so annoying. So I found these stickers. I love these. It's a Buzz Patch mosquito repellent sticker and then the Magic Itch Relief patches. Now, the first thing you do, you take one of these little stickers when you're headed out to the beach or the pool or just outside or whatever, and you want to put it on your article of clothing that's closest to your exposed skin. So I like the sleeve. You could do it on a sock, and it's going to create a barrier around you to basically keep the mosquitoes away. This is all natural. It has a really fresh smell. It smells like citronella. There are some essential oils in here, and you get 60 of these in one package. So they're easy to just throw in your bag, throw in your kid's bag if they're heading to camp. The other one is the Magic Itch Relief Patch. Okay, so you take one of these, it's a grid, right? And if you do get a mosquito bite, you're just gonna attach it to your skin, just stick it right there where the bite is, and it's going to stretch your skin and pull that saliva out of the lymphatic system. What that means is it stops the itching. This works for 30 seconds, works up to 7 days, and these mosquito repellent stickers start working immediately and work for up to 24 hours. So right now we're offering 20% off the natural patch. Just head over to asadeals.com for this exclusive offer.
Good morning, I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King. Here are 3 stories to get your day started. This 3-legged bear named Tripod broke into a home in Florida. It then downed 3 cans of White Claw.
Dude, yes! Tripod knows how to party. I'm taking him out next time.
My goodness.
Well, clearly Tripod knows that Claw's law.
Oh, and then their pet dog Bruno
Was just like kind of hanging
scared
out.
the bear out, I guess.
Yeah, well.
What the heck?
Yeah. He was raging some like techno music and they're like, no, yeah. I love it. Ridley Scott says he has 4.5-hour version of Napoleon. He calls that cut fantastic and would like to see it released. A shorter Napoleon is set to hit theaters in November.
We do not need 4.5 hours.
It's fitting that they're going with the shorter version considering Napoleon's stature. That was a really bad dad joke.
That was awful.
It looks pretty sweet though. Joaquin Phoenix plays Napoleon. So, in honor of him, I'll put my hand halfway in my jacket.
He's so amazing.
Here we go.
Okay. This picture from an Australian beach had some locals worried. It shows people similarly dressed standing apart from each other and staring at the water. While it may look odd, it turns out they were participating in a mental health exercise.
There's nothing.
Just staring out at the ocean.
That is not good mental health. That is waiting for the aliens to blast you up into the sky.
Yeah. I would think that we were in apocalypse if I saw that.
You have all these people standing staring, and then there's just one person like laying
down.
Somebody check on that person. Oh my God, that's creepy. No, thank you. A 20-year-old in Harrison Township now honored for saving his grandfather's life.
Harrison Township trustees honored Carson Caldwell at last night's meeting.
Now, back on August 8th, Caldwell noticed his grandfather clutching his chest in pain. Caldwell then used CPR training to help. His grandfather went to the hospital and had heart surgery for a major blockage. Doctors and Carson's grandfather gave credit to Carson for saving his life.
And 2 local first responders also honored at that meeting for their brave actions after a devastating apartment fire in August. Lydia Bice was there and shares a heartfelt reunion.
Now, it was a heartwarming moment on Tuesday evening when Montgomery County Sheriff's Deputy Javon Richardson was reunited with Thomasina Barfield, the woman whose life he saved on August 5th when her home was destroyed in that fire. Now, over 40 Harrison Township residents were displaced that day, and unfortunately, Miss Barfield is still recovering from losing her home.
I just remember seeing fire and not knowing what to do, and I don't know how I got out. I just know I was on the ground.
So the word that Deputy Richardson used to describe reuniting with Miss Barfield was, quote, special. He also said, quote, I do this job just to help the people. And that's exactly what he did on August 5th. And that's exactly why the township honored him and Chief Nagel on Tuesday evening. So if you are interested in helping Miss Barfield as she recovers from losing her home that day, head to the web version of this story on Dayton247now.com, where I've provided that information. Back to you.
We are waking up to the chance of rain. I happen to put just an idea of how fast it's going and where it'll be. So again, take it with a little bit, maybe not necessarily a grain of salt, but a little bit of wiggle room. So for, let's say, 8 a.m. Hamilton area, so that's down towards Butler County, more towards, let's say, 8:30, 9:30, somewhere in that ballpark around the greater Dayton area, and then more towards, let's say, a little bit later, 9:30, 10 a.m. over by Springfield. So if you are going to be out and about today, there could still be a light shower. Now, that is assuming that it does hold together. There may be some fade as it moves into a much drier environment. Now, meanwhile, what you want to do is you want to go over to Your Day Dayton on Facebook, Instagram, and the X. Come hang out with us. Of course, we've got your poll question there, and just posted a weather forecast as well. Meanwhile, on the roads this morning, things moving okay. Do have an incident, Miamisburg Centerville Road at Springboro Pike. Keep that in mind as you head out the door.
We're seeing new video of a police chase that ended in an officer-involved shooting in Auglaize County on Sunday. Now here's a closer look at that ODOT video. Troopers with the Ohio State Highway Patrol, take a look there at the left side of your screen, trying to stop a vehicle they believe a murder suspect out of Chicago was driving. Now the driver refused to pull over and the chase started. The suspect sped down I-75, finally coming to a stop on Route 33 in Auglaize County. Investigators say 45-year-old Danny Berry got out of the car with a handgun. Officers shot him. Officials took him to the hospital with serious injuries.
One of the airlines at Dayton International will have their last flight in just under 2 weeks.
Melina Brown joins us now live in studio to explain what is happening. Melina.
Well, Nathan, many of our viewers may remember the launch of Avelo Airlines back at the beginning of the year. You could find non-stop flights from Florida every Monday and Friday for as little as $29, but the company announced just last month that they were leaving the airport. And the last flight that is available, as you can see, is Monday, September 18th out of Dayton. I reached out to the company to see when the decision was made and if passengers would be refunded for canceled future flights, and they answered with everything that led up to the decision. A representative for the company said, quote, in an environment of rising fuel cost, we're navigating the best way to fly our routes while also ensuring there's enough demand for the route provided. This was not the outcome we envisioned when Avelo took flight in Dayton, but we have decided to stop service September 18th. All customers have been communicated with by our customer support team. She also said that all customers have been refunded for any tickets that were purchased after September 18th, but don't worry because we have tips on finding cheap flights throughout the year through any airline. According to U.S. News, you're going to want to book in advance for domestic flights. Peak season, you're going to want to book out 3 to 6 months, and off season, you can wait till about 1 to 3 months. And the cheapest days to fly are going to be Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. And you might want to utilize Google Flights or Skyscanner or other search engines to find cheap flights, or invest in an airline credit card so that you can accrue points and bonus miles. And a representative with Dayton International Airport did tell me that the airport is always talking with airlines about service at Dayton International and that they will be ready when the next opportunity comes. Back to you.
Our time right now is 6:37. Don't forget, you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Honoring men who gave the ultimate sacrifice today in Hometown Hero. Adam Arrow highlights how one area community recognized 2 fallen veterans.
Your
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Tropical Depression 13 became a named storm in the Atlantic, forming into Tropical Storm Lee on Tuesday. Lee is expected to develop dangerous hurricane force by this weekend, according to the National Hurricane Center. But still too soon to tell what, if any, impact it'll have on the U.S. East Coast.
For more content like this, like the National Weather Desk on Facebook.
Good morning and welcome to the Watson's Weather Patio. I was just looking at the sky. Plenty of cumulus or ultracumulus clouds. One of those mornings where it's probably a good 50-50 mix here over Miamisburg, but we're not dealing with the rain. One thing we are dealing with is a ton of humidity at the surface. Now, once you go aloft, little different story. That's one of the reasons why yesterday, despite it being hot and humid, we really didn't get any widespread rain going. We had occasional showers or even a couple of some heavier downpours in the Miami Valley, but they were sporadic, and many of us just actually stayed dry all day. Today, a better chance of rain. Now, there may be some spots that don't get a whole lot of rain. Really just depends on where exactly the scattered showers end up. We are tracking a line out to the west right now. That is probably going to move in with the next 90 to, let's say, 3 hours, so 90 minutes to 3 hours. This is something that we're going to continue to see, but for right now, here on the Watson's Weather Patio, just a very humid start to your morning.
Recently, 2 of our area's fallen veterans were forever honored. Street signs now bear their names, reminding everyone who drives past of their service to our country.
As Anna Merrill explains, they are the definition of hometown heroes.
With hands over their hearts and their hearts full of gratitude, the Kettering community honoring 2 fallen heroes. Sergeant Kevin Lannon, an Alter grad, was 21 when he was killed in 1983 in Grenada. He served as a medic and infantryman. His colleagues would later call him the perfect Ranger medic. Sergeant Cameron Thomas, a Fairmont grad, was 23 when he was killed during a raid in Afghanistan in 2017. He was awarded numerous commendations for his service. On Friday, 2 areas of State Route 48 unveiled signs with their names, forever etching their memories in this community.
We are grateful to have them all in our hearts. Every time we drive by those signs, reflect, think about our freedoms, and thank those that have served.
A thank you to 2 men who will forever be hometown heroes.
If you know someone that's a hometown hero, let us know. Grab your phone and scan the QR code.
You can chime in your submission through our app. We see a description on why they're a hometown hero and a few pictures or videos.
Our time right now is 6:44. Looking live over the Miami Valley from Skycam. Hello, Autumn. Just had Nick try some fall food.
Oh, you better be ready for this. You're watching Your Day.
Good morning, everyone. Temperatures are in the 60s and 70s. We are waking up to some heat and humidity in the air. And because of that, I can't rule out a couple of showers. Already we've seen lighter showers move through the greater Greenville area. Now we're starting to see those move through the Richmond area. So it is a day where we're probably going to have to contend with some showers and thunderstorms. This along a cold front that's part of a parent low that is right now in Wisconsin. Now, later on today, we do expect temperatures anywhere from low to mid to upper 80s. Now, that's a wide gamut, but a lot of it depends on how much shower we see, whether or not we get a decent break and some sunshine, and because it's probably going to vary spot to spot. Again, that's why I do expect a wide variety of temperatures. Meanwhile, for Thursday, a stray shower is possible. I do think temperatures will be in the upper 70s over the next few days, so we are going to be talking about a much cooler environment overall. But for Monday into Tuesday, it's back into the 80s with a chance of rain on Tuesday. Again, we're talking about a generally dry patch here again, so we could use a little bit of water, at least judging by my lawn. Meanwhile, on the roads this morning, the biggest issue right now, that is 725, 741. So that is Miamisburg Centerville Road and Springboro Pike. If you're familiar with that area, that is a pretty busy intersection that's just off the interstate. So if you are going to be traveling there, be prepared for a little bit of a delay as there is a crash in that area.
It's fall, y'all, and that means it is time for pumpkin spice season. It is the time of year where we bake all the goodies, and we're getting Nick into the spirit of the season. Yes, you are that basic meteorologist, Nick. Here we go. So, anyways, we are helping Nick get into fall because he's been very resistant so far. All throughout, the forecast is like, it's not fall. He's had rants against pumpkin spice. But guess what? It is after Labor Day, so we have brought some treats in. Alex.
Yes, this is my mother's pumpkin dip she makes every year. It's cream cheese, sugar, pumpkin puree, obviously lots of sugar and vanilla extract.
Here we go, Nick.
So go ahead.
What do you think of that intro, by the way? Is that how you dress on the weekends? All right, so we got a little pump Mama King. I'm ready for this.
That's a big dip.
There's a lot of dips, so feel free to.
Not good.
I could deal with that. I could deal with that.
Melena doesn't like pumpkins, so she's gonna.
Just embrace.
She's gonna be a trooper, and oh no.
Does pumpkin kill you inside?
There's just something so.
Can I get another one of those dippers, please? Because
Yeah,
I need to go back here for I got my initials, so I can dig it.
I've never had pumpkin.
Wait, I actually kind of like it.
Dip. Yeah, after that, horrific look on your face.
Well, the initial pumpkin is like very strong.
It's a punch in the face.
It gets really good.
Can I get the dip down here?
Oh, you probably need the dip with the dippers. Look at me playing facilitator. I feel like I'm at Thanksgiving dinner.
No. So I broke off half because I needed a controlled test with the graham cracker.
Oh my gosh, is that a chunky scarf growing out of your neck right now? Are you feeling the season? Are we about to make it work? Nick, are we there yet?
No.
Okay. Well, we have more fall treats. We've got some pumpkin spice lattes coming a little bit later in the show.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to get you there.
By the end of today.
We are getting you there.
I am not a basic bee. Okay.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Time right now, 6:52. Still to come.
Check out the sunrise. Good morning from the Queen City. Looking live from our neighbor to the south. Just ahead, Nick has your Wednesday forecast. First this morning, an airline at Dayton International Airport will have its last flight in just a few weeks.
Melena Brown joins us now live in studio to break it all down for us. Melena?
Well, Nathan, many of our viewers may remember the launch of Avelo Airlines during the beginning of the year. They offered nonstop round-trip flights between Dayton and Orlando, Florida, and the first flight was January 13th, just 8 months ago. But now they are headed out. You can see on their website that the last available flight is going to be September 18th. If you try and go past that month on the calendar, it won't let you. And when I spoke with travelers on the first day of Avelo flights, many were so excited to have a cheap option to go back and forth between the Sunshine State. You can also see that flights are as low as $29 one way. The short run between Dayton International may be disappointing to some Miami Valley travelers, but a representative for the airport said in part, talking with airlines about service at Dayton International is an ongoing process throughout the year. Every year, whether it's conversation with our current airlines, former airlines, or airlines that have not yet flown from Dayton. We continue to tell the story and remain in ready mode for the next opportunity. I also reached out to Avelo Airlines and I will have everything that they had to say coming up next, as well as tips on finding cheap travel this season.
Officials now say a man at the center of a use of force investigation died from a lack of oxygen to the brain. The Montgomery County Coroner's Office revealed Antonio Lewis's heart was beating too quickly because of recent cocaine use. Back in June, Lewis was injured in the crash at the DeSoto Bass apartment complex. The 62-year-old told police he needed help. While waiting for a medic, officers say Lewis became agitated, leading to a struggle. According to police, he tried to grab a stun gun. That's when officers handcuffed him. He later became unconscious and died in the hospital.
This woman from Dayton will now serve 19 years to life in prison for murder. A jury found 40-year-old Sarah Berma guilty of murder, felonious assault, robbery, burglary, and tampering with evidence. Back in 2021, Berma stabbed and killed 60-year-old Kendall Combs with a pair of scissors in Riverside.
You're taking a live look this morning at our nation's capital. Ohio Senator J.D. Vance wants to ban future mask mandates. He just introduced the Freedom to Breathe Act yesterday. It would prevent federal officials from issuing mask mandates anywhere in the U.S. That includes domestic air travel, public transit systems, or schools. Vance's office says the act would apply through the end of 2024. In a statement, Senator Vance says, quote, "We tried mask mandates once in this country. They failed to control the spread of respiratory viruses, violated basic bodily freedom, and set our fellow citizens against one another." This comes as a new COVID variant called BA.2.86 hits Ohio.
Local firefighters are getting more federal dollars. Congressman Mike Turner made this announcement on X. More than $3 million is heading to the Miami Valley Fire District. It comes from the Adequate Fire and Emergency Response Program. Now, Turner released a statement on this funding saying, quote, "This grant will enable the department to maintain its high standard of excellence by hiring more first responders who will undoubtedly make our community safer."
The president of Tip City Board of Education is stepping down. Simon Patry cited family and business obligations for the move, saying in a Facebook post, "I am no longer able to serve without sacrificing my family's and business's needs." The move came shortly after a board meeting where he got into an argument with another member. Patry had 3 months left in his 4-year term on the board.
Right now, you're looking at the Miami Valley Jail's